So, to be honest, I switched to Studio One last minute because with the live stream, my CPU meter is just going crazy with Cubase, hovering around the 112% usage mark. So, Studio One seems to be a little more relaxed, hopefully. So, let's see if that actually does work as intended. Just want to, so I have a little bit of background noise because my AC is still running, because apparently Spain has decided it's still summer over here, which is nice. So let me close all of that. All right. 7. Come on. Your life has sense without me as well. I'm good. Thanks for all the love, guys and girls. I love it. Really good to be back. Yeah, I know it's been quiet for a while. So as it is with summer and everything. So, but now we are here again, and we have a bunch of stuff to cover. I got a bunch of libraries sent over to put on to display on the channel, and that's what we're going to do. Thomas, yes, I am in Spain. Andreas, you turned on the heating for the first time. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, depends where you are in the world, right? Anyway, so we take a look today at Heavyocity Vocalise 3 has been released a little while ago already. Actually, I want to go here. So links to the product is in the chat as well. In the video description, I mean. Hey Thomas, nice. Portugal, where are you there? I mean, Portugal's big. Coast, north, south, east. You missed the road workers in front of the California window. I'm so sorry, I can't give you that. Oh, come on. So, yeah, Heavyocitys Vocalise and Sonuscores Chroma. Both very, very neat libraries. I'm really looking forward to the stream. But I also found it makes sense to kind of feature both in one stream. In Lisbon, nice. Cool. So yeah, these two we're going to take a look at. Chroma is on intro sale for $119. We'll look at that in a second a little more. I'm not really sure how long anymore, probably another 2 weeks or something. Vocalise is not on intro sale anymore. I'm a little late for that. I think it was $99 when it came out, and now is $119. Nevertheless, that's still reasonable pricing. We will look into the library in detail. And there will be a giveaway for both of these libraries today. So thanks to the developers, to Heavyocity and to Sonuscore, for providing a giveaway copy for the stream. And all you have to do for that is leave a comment underneath this Facebook post. And at the end of the stream, you know the drill. It hasn't changed since last time we were online. We will look at all the comments. Right now, already 26 comments. So it's gonna be nice. Where the hell? Why do I have out of in view here? Come on, refresh, go away. So that's what we're going to do. And we start with Vocalise 3 by Heavyocity. If you're in any way familiar with the Vocalise, with their Vocalise range, so they already have version 1 and 2 out, and they released version 3. Oh, let's close that, let's close that. So here we go. Again, like I said, we are in Studio One now. Hopefully that works a little better than my Cubase, which decides to act up when I live stream at the same time. Let me know if the audio is fine. Micro is good. Microphone is good. Audio is coming through. We hopefully should be good. There's a rebranding in the works that's probably coming in a few weeks. But for now, that's all I have to offer. So everything sounds good. Good. Can recommend the Gravity packs in general. Well, if you talk about Vocalise and the bass and guitar libraries, I use them regularly. So yes, for making that answer short. Vocalise 3 comes as a full Contact player library, so you don't need the full version of Contact for that. It is, where do we have the deets? I posted the link already, text bags, here we go. You don't need Gravity to run it. It's 4.7 gigs, download through native access. You need Contact 671 or later. It's complete control integrated, and yeah, all that good stuff. Silicon compatible, it looks like, via Rosetta. Well, I'm not a Mac, so I don't worry about that either. Anyway. So, Vocalise, 4 gigs, what is it? It's a, basically it's a vocal library with a ton of processed vocal patches. So there have been version 1 and 2. I did streams on both of these in the past. You can check them out. There's a few new stuff in here that the mic has a rumble when it's activated. Yeah, that's actually my AC running. I probably can turn it off now so we don't have as much rumble. If it gets too hot, I will just turn it on again. Yeah, Contact 7 is coming, that's true. So, Vocalise, it's a vocal library with phrases, pads, sustained sounds, and also processed sounds, things like that. So, without further ado, let's jump straight in. We have melodic phrases, intervals, rhythmic pedals, escapes and drones, and vowels. One of the major features that is new with Vocalise 3 that I really appreciate is the fact that they now not only have 4 minor keys. So just in case you're wondering, the concept with these Vocalise libraries is that you have, especially with these phrases, you have 4 different keys, namely A, C, D sharp, and F sharp, which means you kind of cover the whole range of all 12 possible keys, because you kind of can get away with pitching one step up or down without getting the chipmunk effect and having the vocals sound weird. So to sample every 3 minor step of the keyboard, A, C, D sharp, and F sharp, gives you kind of the full range for all 12 keys to have that available. And what's new in Vocalise 3, which I really like, is that they now not only have the minor phrases, but also major phrases. And that is something that is new that hasn't been there before. Very Dune inspired. Well, we will see. So without further ado, let's just jump straight in and listen to a few patches. Let's listen to the phrases A major. The concept of the library is that you have your keys down here, so you can pretty much pitch it wherever you want or transpose it. But like I said, if you go more than one step, it might start to sound really artificial. But here, this is what it sounds like. And let's go to reasonable tempo here, 110. Because these phrases are tempo synced. And again, so down here with the lower part of the keyboard, you can then pitch up and down. And with, like I said, with one step up and down, you're pretty much fine. But if you go further, I mean, that's going downward sounds better than going upwards, because if you go up, you get into chipmunk territory. So I'm not really a fan of that, going too crazy. Like I said, going down is more reasonable and gives you more like a male character with the formant changes of the pitch shift. So that's okay, kind of, but I do like to try to stay in the original key ±1 and just choose whatever phrases fit the key that I'm working in. So let's we have a bunch of more. We have A major, we have minor harmonic, we have minor. Let's actually check the difference between these two. That's not a melodic phrase. Oh, I see. In this lower register, they seem to have included some drones, so you get the root note and then can try out what this patch sounds like on top. But only on this patch. So when I go back to the A major, A major. Oh, okay, we still have the drones on the bottom. I didn't realize that. Maybe they should have colored that differently, so we know, like green or something, so we know this is drones. Different ones. They are on the same key. It's all A in this case. Yeah, the drones are vocals as well. You get these drones extra in the drones pack here. So it's from the same recordings pretty much. But I mean, that's rather useful, to be honest, because you can at least hear what the phrases sounds like in the concept of the key without going into loading other instruments. Oops. Joachim, no. The older ones these are all vocal libraries, and yeah, they are kind of comparable to Ithera. They have a few different things that Ithera doesn't have, and Ithera has a bunch of stuff that Vocalise doesn't have. But they are both, what they have in common, they are both vocal libraries. So let's check the A minor. Can try the punish knob to give them a little more beef. Well, it's not activated, so let's activate it. Hey Alex, good to see you. We need to have another beer soon. I mean, yes, there are similarities to Ithera for sure. Let's just change it up a little, check the C major phrases here, so everyone's happy now, turning to C major. And like I said, since it's tempo synced, it's pretty easy to work that into your composition. Two, three, four. Yeah, that's I really like the fact that it's tempo synced, which is not always the case with vocal libraries. But I think the first Vocalise that they did, the Vocalise 1, these phrases were not tempo synced. They started the syncing with Vocalise 2, and from then on, now everything is tempo synced, which is pretty cool. So just let's try a quick example here. Let's go with a D sharp minor harmonic. Just want to load few instruments and see what kind of stuff we can create just with one patch, putting that on top. So close that. Let's open up a little bit of a synth stuff. We need synth stuff. Don't know. Let's go with something from here. Actually, let's go with elements. Let's see what we have here. I mean, kind of makes sense to look into Dunescapes. No, I don't want to kind of do a Dune knockoff. No, I want to have something a little more rhythmic. Let's see. That sounds nice. Is there any way we can find the original tempo? I'm not really sure. I think they're all recorded at 90, but BPM? No BPM information on this one. Maybe we can see it in the back end. We look into the samples. And when I watch the sample, they didn't include the tempo in the sample name. Sometimes they do that. They didn't do it here. So in the wave editor, I'll also can. Okay, it looks like 100 BPM. So at least it's set to that. So I think it's quite possible that they recorded it as 100 BPM because that kind of gives you the most leeway up and down. So it doesn't sound too stretched. I mean, if we go to 60 BPM, I think you can hear the stretching artifacts. Well, I don't hear anything. Vibrato's a little slow. Go to 40. Okay, now you can start to hear the artifacts. Nice vibrato there. But you can easily go to 160. Besides the vibrato. Well, maybe you can do. I think 40 plus, 40 down is a safe space. Okay, let's go back to 90 where we were. And I'm pretty sure that there are some phrases that work better in different tempos than others. It's a matter of trying out. I mean, it's not really like you have a singer and tell them what to sing. You kind of search through the phrases and try to find something that fits what we're working on. So anyway, let's just put down like 4 bars here. This is actually elements or always name your track so you know what you're doing. What did I do here? What is this? Some huh? I put I'm not really sure. I think I put some overlay on top of my screen here that I don't really know where that is coming from. That's my Logitech keyboard. But I have no idea what button I accidentally pressed. So how do I get rid of that? Ah! Damn it. That is my video control for my live stream. Yeah, okay, it goes away if I wait. Thanks for that. So the key that I chose for the Heavyocity Vocalise patch there is D sharp minor. So I want to have something like D sharp minor running here. We have that on the grid, please. Oh, I'm way too long anyway. To have only 4 bars. Sorry for that. So you go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut. All right. Cut there, cut there. That's why I'm totally zoomed out. That's why. So, okay. There's some overtone on the synth that I don't really like. So let's change it. Well, actually that one afterwards. I like that one. But what we're going to do is we put a little bit of EQ on it. Okay, that's fine. So, Vocalise, starting off with just going through some of these phrases. Well, I did the minor harmonic, but that's fine. In case you don't know, a little music theory part here. So the C minor scale is C, D, D sharp or E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and back to C. So just a regular minor scale. The same pretty much as the E flat major scale. Just 2 steps down to the C. Same as C major and A minor. So if they tell you that you have the harmonic minor scale available as phrases, you hear that it's kind of a little more oriental sounding, because the scale for this one is so instead of the B flat, we have it raised a half step to a B. So we still have the minor scale, but instead of it does so just to explain what they mean with harmonic minor, in case you don't know, a lot of you guys will probably already know. So, and that means that you get this B, this natural B instead of the B flat in a lot of these phrases. Well, technically I made a mistake there because I got the D sharp. So we are in D sharp minor harmonic. So you get that D natural instead of the C sharp. Instead of so that shall be enough for explaining that. And that's why you have this D natural. Okay, what I sometimes do with these vocal libraries, they have a lot of processing already with reverb and delay, but I usually try to turn that off. So that it's dry, and then I can use my own effect. So I do have a reverb set up here, maybe a little bit of delay and black hole, and immediately get a little more. So I like these two. Let's start off with that one. No, not this one. Let's start with the softer one. Come on. So. Yeah, let's do this. 2, 4. Well, random, but it's a start. I'll click off. Just one question, please let me know. If I turn on the click in Studio One, is the click translated through the stream? So, meaning, can you hear the click? Just curious. Thanks. What I also like to do with these vocal libraries is to give them a little more body, because it is technically comparable to a live performance from someone you have in the studio recording something. I mean, they are processed, so it's not like you get the raw recordings, I guess at least, that it's not raw, but rather treated. Just to make sure I'm getting rid of low end that we probably don't need. And what I really like is either the 2A compressor or the 1176, something like that. Let's go with the 76 from, in this case, the Waves, the Chrysalot Algae. And there are some really nice presets for vocals built in that work really, really well. So let's look here. Ocean vocal, Celine vocal, we're probably not gonna need that. Lead vocal, vocal heavy, vocal. Let's go with vocal medium. Let's see what that sounds like. I don't want to have any noise, so let's see. I just want to tickle the needle a little bit. So you can see here on these blobs that it's just kind of taking care a little bit of these dynamic movements within the audio. So I just try to have that a little bit controlled. That's without. And it gives a little more volume as well. Probably should bring that down a little to make sure we have a fair comparison between the in and output signal, because louder always sounds better. But anyway, don't want to go into a mixing session here, just want to kind of work with the patch a little bit. So that is D sharp harmonic minor phrases. So duplicate that patch, just want to, because we haven't even looked at some of the other stuff. Let's turn the send off and the EQ and the insert off and look at some of the other patches. I mean, we talked about the phrases, so that's cool. So what this is new. We haven't had that before in the other Vocalises. They now have intervals. So, okay, based that we are on D sharp, let's load the D sharp interval 1, this patch. And what this is, whatever you play on the keyboard, it is an interval from that certain note you're playing back to D sharp. So if I play a B flat, that goes up to D sharp. If I play the B flat an octave above, if I play the E flat itself, it does the octave. And in the lower range, you have these R transitions. Then in the middle, you have oo. And at the top, you have hmm. So you can do some pretty cool movements with that. And this, by the way, goes from D sharp to the target note. And this one goes from the target note to D sharp. Okay, I think I just understood the concept. So in the first octave, you go from the root note of the patch to the target note, meaning if I play an E, it goes up. So that's pretty cool. And as soon as I reach the next E flat right here, and it doesn't matter if it applies to every root note. So this one, this octave is up, this octave is down. So I can technically do this. So you can do pretty cool combinations there and create some harmonies with that. So, and that is with ah, oo, and So 1 octave up, 1 octave down for 3 different vowels. That's pretty cool. So. So kind of get the idea there. That's what the intervals. And then you get 2 different voices. So you can have a change of timbre there as well. And I think these are tempo synced as well when I do 120. No, these are not tempo synced. My bad. So. But you can really combine that to create a very interesting sound pad. So that's the intervals. Let's look at the rhythmic pedals. You have these are all the same samples here, just in different ways they are kind of presented. So you have the single individual pedals in mono, stereo, remixed, and stacked. But with a menu, you can at least first of all listen to all of the included ones, and you get straight and triplets, which is also new. I think that wasn't before.
Do, me, fa, sol, a, nu, do, ni, do.
Oh, I like that one. But does it sound like an octave lower? Oh, wow. I really like it. I didn't even listen to these before. So what we're going to do is, I like these two samples here. So let's just record with these two. Let's see what it sounds like. So just with these, I think that's pretty cool. It was a little loud, so if we have that quieter in the back, so it's not as obvious, just a little rhythmic layer in the back. That's rhythmic pedal. Let's see what that sounds like. Still activate the filter, maybe get rid of a little bit of the sibilance in the top. I want to turn that down a little. It's a little too much for my taste. Alright, so that's the rhythmic pedal, and we have a bunch of more of these, and these are like the consonant ones with s, t. And then we have tonal ones as well. But these are all on the, that's why they're called rhythmic pedals, so they stay on the same note. So we have these sibilants, some tonal ones, and words, kind of. And they start anew every time you press the key, but it doesn't matter where you are on the beat, so you can really create some interesting rhythms. And I just realized that these are the same phrases, just tonal and whispered. That gives a lot of flexibility, to be honest. Really clever idea. I like that. So what else do we have in there? Ba, ba, ba. Someone wrote to me. Oh, okay. So next patch, so the menus, like I said, and we have the same as triplet, just to so we can listen to that quickly, so you get an idea. So you get this. We have a male whisper menu as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. If you tune that down by quite a bunch, and I assume introduce the punish. Oh, that's a little too much, but you get these kind of like chant-like. Maybe that's a quick moment in case you're not familiar to have a quick look at the Gravity engine, because there's just so much more that you can do with the whole thing. So first of all, you can look into the sample, and you can tune the samples on an individual sample level. So we could tune just this sample down by, let's say 6. Let's turn on the distortion for a moment. So, and if I say I want to have that minus 12. I need to have the level up on this one. I can also change the start point. So, for example, if I say I like this sample, but I don't want to like, I want to start on tone, I can go here. So it's a different feel than it was before. So and you can see slice 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So you can really dial it into the place where you need it. So that's pretty cool. Punish knob is a bunch of different effects combined. Little much high end there. We do have an equalizer built in that we can turn on and say, okay, I just want to get rid of some high end here. Well, that is not working. I think you can open this. Link. I just don't know what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, so that's just taking care of some high end there. We could also introduce a filter. So, by the way, since we're on the page anyway, EQ and filter, so you can really do some crazy stuff. So then we have a master EQ that we can apply afterwards. And this EQ is per sample, which is pretty cool. So we can have that higher one and can say, okay, I don't want to have the low one of this one. Still a little much high end, so I can move that up a little. So I want to have more mid-range. So this is pretty cool because you have the filter and the equalizer per sample. So you can link it to have it for all the samples with that little, well, you probably can't see in the stream, the little link icon here on top. But I really like the fact that you can really create different moods and sounds based on the fact that you can change each individual sample. So here we have another one that's fully non-processed. And then we can go to main, and when I go to the sample basis, I can also change the volume of each individual sample. That's pretty cool. And additionally, we have these trigger effects, which we can just bring in as needed. And these are, I think, yeah, you can see here, F6 till C7. So that's up here. So I can trigger them with a keyboard. And these filters are running through through a motion engine, so you have a sequence playing at the same time. So you see, this is what's happening when let's say I take the let's go back. There we go. So let's take the lo-fi filter, for example. So it sits on F#6. So, and when we look at the advanced, it can change the way it behaves when you put the trigger keys down. So that's some seriously heavy sound design that you can do there within the engine without going any further. So if you would say, I want to have the panner, let's edit the panner a little bit. So, and I do like this one, but it is too slow. So I want to have the range is fine. Center, the time. I want to change the timing, the grid of this one. Rate, there we go. Rate is 1/16, so let's say we do 1/32. So that's pretty cool. And then you can also, of course, hit several keys and combine the, in this case, the panner with the delay and the distortion, for example. So hit all three. And these top three keys here give you a chopping effect. And this is something that you can control here with this guy, I guess. And that would be the motion engine. Yeah. Yeah, that's the motion engine that you can trigger with the top three keys there. And you can change the speed here as well on the rate. So if we want to have that in 30-second triplets. So that's some really serious sound design that it can just, and it's all in the end based in the MIDI world because you can just hit the trigger keys and have all that stuff happening. It really is worth to look a little deeper into the sound design capabilities of the Gravity engine. There is so much stuff that it can do, which is really cool. And by the way, you also get a bunch of well, not for this one, for some of the others, you have a bunch of presets that you can also, that utilize different parts of the engine here and give you several options of what you can do with it. So that's really, really cool as well. Quickly need something to drink. All right. So that's the pedal menus. I think we covered that quite sufficiently. One thing that's cool, the remix pedals. They include these, so these are based on the original pedals, but you get some remix sounds. Let's quickly check that. So, I mean, that was really random, but you really can create interesting rhythms with that kind of stuff. So that was just randomly blopping down some keys in D sharp minor harmonic and soloing the vocals here. So just putting on a little bit of distortion really creates some nice atmosphere there. Like it. Very cool. So just some more sound design capabilities with these remix pedals. I have to turn the AC back on. I'm melting. So you will have a little bit of noise underneath the talking mic. Sorry for that, but it's hot in here. So then we have these stacked pedal combos. Let's see what these sound like. I think it's just from the base material, from the source material. Yeah, you get 3 different layers. And again, no snapshots here, but we have different presets. And I think pitch, punish, twist, mix. I don't really know if you can change. It doesn't look like you can change between the different types. So I think you're bound to that. So that's why they have included these presets. So you cannot change the individual layers within the engine here. Yeah, so you can create some really weird, funny rhythms. Rhythmic pedals, cool. Escapes and drones. So, the drones. You have 12 drones. These are the ones that we had before on the phrases, where you can just hold down the root note. So these are the same things, just individual ones. So you can, if you load these ones, you can use them in every key. shows you the root key here of the drone, but you can also load the menu so you get them all at once. And then you can tune them with the trigger keys, with the pink ones. You get the idea. So vocal drones, and then we have vocalscapes. And these are one of my favorite patches from the whole Vocalise range. So they had them, I think they introduced them in Vocalise 2, and these are just so glorious for just a little bit of atmosphere in the beginning of a track. Remember that there is a little bit of reverb and delay in the patch, but also the dry sound of the sample is already pretty processed. So it sounds very distant already within the sample. That's kind of the goal. It's called vocal soundscapes. But I just love these because you can really put them underneath the track, maybe add the filter here, do filter for all the samples and learn the cutoff to CC1, and then you can do. Then we have the drones again, so it's 1 octave. I really wish that they would have colored the drones differently, so whatever patch you load, that you know, okay, these green ones are drones. But if you consider these as like an intro sound, you can easily say, okay, 2 bars of a track starts with a drone. Sorry, going here. So that's scapes. I actually want to do 4 bars. So let's put an intro to these. Put 3 keys down at once. Well, what I'm gonna do, I didn't like the release time of the one, so I want to have that fade out much slower. So I'm gonna link the release times for all of these and just make that like 7-8 seconds, so the release is much longer. And I recorded the mod wheel already, so let's see what that sounds like. So that little rhythmic pedal is a little too loud for my taste, so I have to turn that down. My soundscapes sound pretty cool, I like that, and I just need a little bit of a riser. Something like that. 3, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna start this. Start here. Yeah, it's fine. this over here. Okay, so there's one bar before we hit the beginning. That's bar 7, so that needs to go to bar 6. There we go. A little bit of a bass drum. Turn off the click. We need soft kick here. I think I need to move that just a tiny bit over there. Okay. Just randomly hit 2 notes there, wanted to keep them going. One does that, just make sure that my mod wheel's up. And I need a little more volume on these. Alright, moving that there. Right, because saving that, and let's slowly head over to look into Sonuscore's piano. We have pretty much covered all the stuff that is available here. We have the soundscapes, we have the drones, and I don't think there's much left that we need to look at with Vocalise 3. I think overall you get the idea. I don't know why it's saving so long. Probably because it's a new project. Next time shouldn't be as long. So we have pretty much covered all of the stuff that is available here. No, we didn't look at the vowels. Sorry. We forgot the vowels, so let's look at these quickly. I can turn off the noise again. So, no more noise. We have vowels that I didn't check yet, so let's open that up. Melodic phrases, intervals, escapes, and drones, vowels. So we have moving vowels, looped, so it's kind of the wah wah kind of thing. And they just keep going and going and going. So, could sound like... And you have these different singers. So you have Carla, Kristen, these two singers. And you have, again, like we had with the intervals, you have oo and and ah. So you can do this. And you have ooh, moo. And then you have stacked versions of these as well, where I think it's just both singers combined. Which in and of itself is really, really beautiful. So if you put a little bit of filter on here, I think you can really create some nice soundscapes on these. And oh, by the way, I didn't do it for the other ones, so I need to do it here as well. I need to do it here as well. Maybe we raise the resonance on one of these and one of these, so we can do. Yes, of course, you can modulate each cutoff differently for each voice. Of course, you can do that too. That's pretty cool. Lots of sound design options there. So yeah, just looked at the loop vowels, and then we have single shot vowels, which is just regular sustains. Which is really, really cool. And by the way, there's both singers with and O and oo. And this is some proper choir sound right in the box. Really cool. I like that. Putting that as a pad in the background of a track really. I mean, this thing would be a no-brainer if they would sample legato on these vocals. I mean, that would be so much more useful. It is useful as it is already, but would be so much more that you could do if they have some proper legato sampling on these. But probably wouldn't be $100, but maybe a little more. So really, really cool stuff. I do like Vocalise 3 a lot. Let me just remind you that you have to do something if you want to grab a free copy of that. Thanks to Heavyocity for providing a giveaway copy. So all you got to do is head over to this Facebook post that I just posted in the chat and leave a comment. And at the end of the stream, we are going to pick 2 lucky winners, one for Chroma and one for Vocalise 3. Right now, we're looking at 75 comments. All right. So that shall conclude Vocalise, the overview, and let's jump into the piano. Not Noir. This is a piano that I just recently bought. We may look into that later down the line. But for now, let's check Chroma. Chroma from Sonuscore has been released a few days ago. It is on intro sale for $119, $149 regular price. So what is it? Chroma personifies the ageless beauty of the piano. Painstakingly recorded from a world-class Yamaha C3, it fully captures the sonic exuberance of the ideal piano sound. It is not only the perfect recreation of the acoustic properties, but also a full exploration of the instrument. From the profundity of the single note to mallets, pads, and ebow, able to create rich and inspiring soundscapes. Chroma is more than a piano, it is the experience of the piano itself. Big words, let's see if it lives up to it. New Sonuscore flagship piano, just for the technical deets. What are we looking at? I think it's 10 gigs. 8 gigs, or RAM recommended. 11 gigabytes of hard disk space. So yeah, it's around 11 gigabytes. Free contact player, it's NKS compatible. And some of the presets need a fast CPU to run smoothly. Yeah, we will look into that. There is a bunch of stuff that is very CPU hungry, but still, it's first and foremost a piano library. So, loading. I should probably resave that because it takes a little too long for my taste to load. But I didn't do a batch resave. This is located in M Sonuscore Chroma. So I'm just gonna quickly do batch resave. I mean, it's just one patch, so it's kind of ridiculous to do a batch resave, but anyway. Sonuscore, so just so you know how that works, if you have a library that takes a little long to load, go to the folder, say batch resave, it will rescan for all the samples. In case something's missing, you can resave that. And now, whoop, there you go. That's way faster. Okay, so looking at Chroma from Sonuscore. First patch loaded sounds like this. So I don't want to change anything. Actually, make sure there's no processing, no reverb, no EQ, anything. So straight out of the box. And also make sure we're sending this to the stereo out so there's no bus processing. Well, I don't care. There's no bus processing anyway. So, that's not any of my reverbs or something. It was just one note held down. So as you can imagine, and if you're familiar with Native Instruments Noir, where you have this particle engine to create notes based on what you play, here we have the same thing. We have an engine that we will look into detail what it does. First and foremost, we can turn that off right here, or it's mod wheel controlled and you can change the intensity with a modulation wheel. So if we take the mod wheel all the way down, then there is no engine to listen to. I want to quickly turn that off because I want to listen to the main sounds first. We have some presets, piano, this is the different articulations, and then a few settings. We have a few engine effects, and we have combined piano and engine effects. What I want to start with is really just the basic raw sound, even without reverb, nothing added there, no EQ. For the mix tab, we will look at that. In regarding to the mics, animations can stay on, so you end it off. This is the pure piano sound pretty much out of the box. I mean, the release is, for my taste, is a little short. At least at really loud volumes. That sounds a little weird. Let's see if we can... Oh, the release is all the way off. That's why. Are the mechanics off? No. So, yeah, something is a little, I don't know. There's something about the release there, or the lack of release, so to say. It sounds a little cut off to me. If I push down the sustain pedal and leave it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing that a little reverb couldn't fix, but I'd rather have that sound right out of the gate. Since you put some reverb on it, it's fine. We have plate reverb, algorithmic hall. By the way, I'm only seeing that down here in this info line. So when you move your controls over, you move your mouse over whatever control you have, you can see what's behind it in the bottom line. So algorithmic convolution, reverb, cathedral, convolution, long, artificial. So let's take the plate. Okay, let's look at a few more controls. So remember, or keep in mind that Chroma is not just a piano. We have a bunch of more stuff. We'll look at that, but I want to really focus on the piano sound first. So we have a few more controls. We have dynamic range. So you can really make it soft, no matter how hard you play. And now the note off comes through more. I don't know why it wasn't there before. I don't know what I did, but suddenly now the sound is on. If I... Maybe it was a bug because I turned the mechanics on and off, but suddenly it sounds a lot more real, lifting the fingers. That's a rather lovely sound. And besides the dynamic range, so when we look at the mix, that is not... all right, so there's two controls. You have the dynamic range, but you also have a velocity curve that you can change depending on your needs. So you can do kind of like this, and you can really reduce the max velocity, which I really love in the piano library. So if I bring the back up full, so I can bring the maximum velocity down significantly. Actually, I want to have a little more. Before we go into the mics, there is also an inbuilt EQ. That is pretty solid, because just a little bit of the high end gives a little more sheen. Actually give a little more reverb. Okay, let's give it a little more dynamic range and check out the mic positions. All right, let's check the mic positions. So we have, let's turn the reverb off. Okay, that's the pure. We have AB. Okay, so that's AB. Then we have XY. XY. And then we have ORTF, or in other languages, ORTF. That's Orf. And then we have Rumble, which is just a bass area mic below the piano, I think. So that doesn't do shit on the high end. You just hear rumbly piano noises, but really on the low bass, that's some solid sub right there. And then, of course, you can combine them all in various ways. Bring the AB down a little, not as much rumble, less RTF. Less AB, a little more room. That down, maybe less sub. That with a little more dynamic range and reverb back on and DQ back on. A little less low. Well, actually, with reverb included, please. Forgot how that went. Okay, so that is just the piano. We haven't even touched and scratched the surface of all these stuff because we have a bunch of prepared piano sounds with Chroma as well. So let's go through these. We have brush. And then we have muted piano. That's pretty cool. Then we have mallet. It's kind of like having a felt piano, but it's not like the hammers are hammering against the felt, but the felt is hammering against the strings. That needs a little love. That's extremely versatile. I really like that. Then we have chain. So having a chain on the string, lying on the strings. Last but not least, we have really, I think, really beautiful pad with the EBow. EBow, if you don't know, is this little thing. Showcasing there. It's a little kind of electromagnet that, when you switch it on, it has a blue light. What does it do? It is blue. And you can kind of electrically move the strings with an EBow. Really cool device. And they put it on a piano. It sounds like this. Has a little bit of an organ-like quality to it. And what we also haven't talked about is the engine behind all the other stuff. And there is, so what this basically is a repeater that repeats what you have played either in time or spreading it out in time and detuning it and kind of messing it up. So in the basic principle, let's take all the, well, this stays on, EQ is off, everything is off. Okay, so decay, let's leave that on, density 1. So let's start with the simplest setting. I say time sync quarter note. There we go, quarter note. And I don't want to have variation, so when I hit a single key, it's not doing anything. Maybe I need to raise the density to 2. Ow! No, let's keep the density at 1. I forgot. The intensity is all the way down with the mod wheel, so I need to bring that up. So now I'm introducing the engine. So I can, with the mod wheel, I can determine how much of that engine tail I want to have on the sound. So, but keeping it full up. And so I think the easiest way to introduce or to talk about what this particle generator is doing. So quarter note, decay all the way up, density 1. So that's basically just one repetition of that note I just played. It's like a delay. But it only plays as long as I keep the note down, as I keep the note pressed. And repeats all the notes that I'm playing. So, with spread, engine spread sets the random pan limit for the engine, so I can't spread out my repetitions in the stereo field. So you can hear how it's moving a little bit left and right. So the density is the amount of repetitions, I guess. Well, what does it say? Density. Determines the chance for each chosen sound to be played. Okay, so the thing is, when I play that chord, it doesn't repeat the whole chord in quarter notes. It repeats random notes from the chord, which gives that random tail feel. So At the maximum setting, every activated articulation will be played on every note. The lower the density, the more the sounds will be spread out across notes. Also keep in mind that a low density setting will reduce the amount of voices created. So with all density all the way up, yeah, it pretty much just repeats the full chord. But with density at 2, it just repeats random notes, which is pretty cool. So then we have octaves. So it's self-explanatory. It will create octaves based on the notes played. Playing a single note. So let's see what variation does. Sets the time between notes random to 50%, 100%, or 150% of the selected time. Okay, yeah, as we heard already, it was not just full quarter notes repeating. It was quarter notes and eighth in between. So then we can detune the repeats. So you can create that old-time feel, wobbly piano sound. Not a big fan of that. And sample start obviously cuts into the sample. So, and this is the cool thing that I really like, besides that you can layer all these 6 different sound variations that you have in the sound, you can put different repeats instead of the piano. So you can say, I want to have the brush repeating instead of the key. Or the chain. Combine these. So, just to explain the overall principle, but they come with a ton of presets. So, again, we check the bow, brush, chain, mallets, muted, and the basic piano. Let's check some of the presets for the piano itself. We have Bright, Cinema, Grand. Really like that. Pretty cool sound. It is bright for sure. We have Bright, Warm, Grand. So some of these loudest notes are a little too loud, so just bring down the velocity sensitivity. A little much reverb for my taste. But again, it's just a preset, so you can take the starting point and add it to your own liking. So Film Grand. Yeah, nice. And besides the piano presets, presets, then you have a bunch of other sounds. Let's just quickly, just one more. Take the Jazz Grand. Little too dark for my taste, but yeah, nothing that you couldn't fix with some of the settings. So layered soft, layered warm. Well, then it starts to layer some of these additional sounds, which is really cool. I mean, reminds me a little bit of Native Instruments Unicorda. Well, for that you need really cool. I like that sound. Noise. And then we have engine that is engine only. So no main sounds. Let's quickly listen through these. That's kind of funny. More like an arpeggiator, but randomly. Doesn't do anything. This is really cool for textural stuff. But when we look at the CPU, that particle engine also drains a little bit of juice from the CPU. So let's listen to some of these combined presets. So where we have the main sounds and the engine running, just playing a few random chords here. When we go to a track in the beginning, but as you can see with the CPU, it's pretty heavy on CPU. So if I play that track, see if it works. mean, the repeats are triplets, so that's why it's not really working. Could see, yeah, it's 8 triplets, so I probably would need to set this to 8th. Then it might make more sense. You kind of get the idea. That totally works. So, kind of, I put in one blooper with this one. It shouldn't have been a G. So, but yeah, you get the idea. That piano is really capable of some nice cinematic atmospheres there. Oh yeah, look at the CPU. So that piano is eating CPU like crazy because of the tail. So what we're probably gonna do is, what I would do if I were to use this in a track, I would play the stuff that I play, and then I would just bounce in place. So just bounce to new track. So I take just the piano, render it, and then I don't need to worry about my CPU. Like this. Don't know how much tail I left for it, but you kind of get the idea. So, yeah, I have to be honest, this is a really, really capable cinematic piano. And I didn't really dig deep into the other sounds, or the prepared sounds. But, yeah, just playing that back now without the strain of the CPU should make it a little more appealing. And then you can also tweak it further when it's audio. Rendered it with a blooper in there. Yeah, I mean, it cuts off right away there. But I really, really like it. So, 2 libraries that work really, really well together. That's pretty cool. So, let's do this. Bring in a little music. I really can recommend these 2 libraries. But let's rename that. It's Chroma. Both are available on the respective websites. I posted them in the video description below. You can nevertheless grab a free copy of each, well, 1 copy for each. Mark, CPU and processor. I have an i9, so Intel i9 9900K processor with 64 gigabytes of RAM. So it's not the worst, but also not the newest. So given that we're already on a 12900, which I probably want to grab soon. Hopefully, planning on upgrading my system. But yeah, it's a 3-year-old CPU now, 4-year-old. It's still a pretty beefy system and gets a lot of stuff done. But some of these instruments like Chroma, some of the, I know, cycles from Slate and Ash, and some of these instruments really, really drain power from the CPU. Also some of the Heavyocity stuff. So it is definitely advisable to have a proper system for that. Or, like I just did here, just render the hell out of it, and you can use as much as you like if you turn it to audio afterwards. Anyway, let's look at the comments. Where are we? It's pretty much the last chance for anyone who joined later. If you want to grab a copy of either Chroma or Vocalise, that's the link to live for. Through that link, you have to be on Facebook. That's the only downside. So you can leave a comment underneath that post, and I will draw a random winner in a few seconds. 85 comments, probably not gonna get much more, but really like being back on stream. Probably even this week, either tomorrow or Friday, I will do a deep dive into Celtic Era 2. And I also have to do a stream with Stefano's new libraries, Elements Cinematic Rhythms, which is awesome. I really like it. So a bunch of stuff to get through and showcase. There's have been quite a bunch of libraries come out during summer when I didn't do any streams. I did the Audio Imperial one in August, but other than that, there was like 2 months of a break. So I appreciate you all coming back after all this time. I've been missing you, and it feels good to be back. And there's a bunch of more stuff coming. And coming fall, I also want to reintroduce the listening to your track sessions. So a little bit of live track feedback coming probably in October. Just so you know, I will post some new announcements on the Composing Tutorials website. You can also, by the way, subscribe to the newsletter, which I haven't sent out in ages, but it's composingtutorials.online or .com, both. And you here on the website, and there is, here's the newsletter. You can subscribe and get some occasional stuff for what we've been working on. Some more roundtables I'm planning on as well. So if you want to check it out, pay a visit there. And last but not least, Chroma, if you intend to grab it after the stream, here's the link. It's 119. Intro price goes 149 in apparently, I guess, in 2 weeks or something. They usually do like 2 weeks intro sale. Vocalise is also 119. I doubt that it will be on sale during Black Friday, but what do I know? It's an awesome library that is a little specialized, but at what it's doing, it's really good. So if you need these type of sounds and feel that evocative vocal phrases and vocal pads and soundscapes are something that you need in your work, this is a top-notch library, especially that they now upgraded to using not only minor but also major phrases, which is a huge boost in usability, at least for me, because I always felt a little bit limited with just the minor phrases in the former volumes. So that's pretty much it. Little nice tune here. Not tune, just an intro. I would consider that an intro. Has a nice vibe to it. Alright, so 3 people more jumped on, and that brings us to the giveaway. And we, in order that we did the review, so we started with Heavyocitys Vocalise. And yeah, just let's get on it. 88, it's not getting more, so here we go. First winner for Heavyocitys Vocalise is gonna be... Come on. Loaded Veganera. Interesting name. But congrats, Vocalise is yours. So very well done on you. And we will pick a second winner for Chroma. So who's want to win Chroma? I hope you didn't put your name down if you already have Chroma. There's nothing I can do. If you have Chroma already, when we pick a winner, I don't know what we're gonna do. Maybe we do another one, or we'll see. So, winner for Chroma tonight is... Bam! Oh, I thought that already started the drawing. It didn't. So, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Winner for Sonuscores Chroma is... Kenneth Malm. Malm. Might be Swedish. I don't care. We have 2 winners, Lode and Kenneth. Congratulations to both of you. I will get in touch on good old Facebook and let you know how you can activate your wins. Congratulations. Looking forward to the next one. And yeah, probably gonna come still this week with Celtic Era 2, which will be a longer one and focusing just on that one library because there's just a ton of stuff to explore. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. And feels good to be back and looking forward to more streams and more content towards the end of the year. Thanks so much, everyone, and I see you on the other side. Bye-bye. Talk soon. Cheers.